Before you dive into this story, let me give you a few content warnings. The last thing I want is to catch you too off guard, dear. This tale may include death or reference to it, surreality, alcohol, smoking, unreality, and mild harm to children. But don't worry. While they may get some bumps and bruises, no children will die. Everyone who helped tell this story had a set of safety tools to use in case anything became triggering to them. But I want you to be safe as well. So if anything happens that is triggering to you, please do take care of yourself. Remember, you can always step away if you need to. Oh, well, now that we've gone through that, why don't we begin? Let's see what lies beyond the brook.
Welcome, viewers, to our 6th episode of Beyond the Brook, a mini-series inspired by Over the Garden Wall and using the Babes in the Woods role-playing system to tell the story of 5 children lost in the mysterious wilderness known only as the Backwoods. I am Edward Spence, my pronouns are he, him, and I am your narrator, and my rock fact for today, in my garden, I once had a chestnut tree, and it was my favourite tree to climb. I would run to it every day after school, and I would climb it as high as I dared, and then one day, I jumped from one branch to the other, and it snapped, and I fell to the ground, and I was so scared and so saddened by this that I didn't climb it for months and months, until one day, I plucked up the courage to do so again, and I ran downstairs, and I found that the wind had blown it over, and it had fallen to the ground, and I could never climb my favourite tree ever again. So Stella, hi, how are you?
That's so sad.
I know. But it made a terrific, in my mind, ruined castle for the rest of the time that it stayed there. So I had good times, Stella.
Good
Yeah.
imagination, yes.
Mm.
No, hello. I'm Stella. Stella Luna on Twitch, Stella Luna TV on all other social media. Today I will be playing Penny. And my rock fact is I have 3 drinks on my desk right now. I don't know. Oh, check out this cool bookmark I have. It's see-through.
Ooh. That's a super cool bookmark. It's pretty.
Thank you.
I love show and tell.
Me too.
Well, Laurel, shall we go over to you? Hi.
Oh, okay. Hi. Hey guys, I'm Laurel. I'm playing Angie. And on Twitch, I'm just Laurel. Everywhere else, I'm Laurel Rothamel. And my rock fact is that when I was a little kid, I had an imaginary friend that my whole entire family was convinced, and still to this day is convinced, was a ghost.
We'll get back to that. See?
Oh
Yeah.
boy. Hi everyone.
Whoa.
My name is C. I use they them pronouns. You can find me making very trans, very gay art on the internet at C Plays RPG. Tonight I'm playing Lou, who's a wolf and uses they them pronouns. And my rock fact is that when I was let's talk about our freaky childhoods.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I once caught a rattlesnake with a butterfly net. When I was like 7.
What was your life?
Are we
See?
just
Yeah, this is
playing
making
ourselves?
sense. Yeah, this is making a lot of
I
sense.
feel like we're typecasting the show a little bit.
Yeah.
It's Lou has a lot of feral sea child energy.
Wrestling muskrats, hopping between train
Yep.
cars, catching rattlesnakes.
See, you shouldn't do that. You should, as a note for the audience, you should not catch rattlesnakes under any circumstances.
Lexi, what cool animals have you caught with a butterfly net?
Oh no, not many. My name's Lexi. My pronouns are he, she, they. And I'm playing Gus, who uses he, him pronouns. And my rock facts. Sadly, there are no animals involved.
just me being a menace as a child. When I was younger, I used to do a southern accent and lie to people that I had a twin named Zoe that was coming to school.
That is such a strange thing to lie about. Why?
Because people believed me.
Is Zoe in the call with us now? Or?
She's I think when I go use the restroom, she'll come back, you know. She'll take next episode for me, no worries.
Great. And Maddie.
Hi. I'm Maddie Duvernay. Everywhere, and sometimes with an extra Y, and I use she, they pronouns. And my rock fact, it's funny that you said that. I guess we were all typecast because I don't remember most of my childhood because of trauma.
Sorry,
But
not too excited. Real.
I know. Interesting fact that I don't remember, but my mom tells me all the time. From whenever I was a kid, one of my brother's classmates came up to me one day after school when I was little, and was like, "Are you your brother's sister?" I was like, "Yeah," and she's like, "I don't like him. He annoys me," and I punched her.
Nice.
As you must.
She deserved it.
Defend this house.
My mom was watching the whole time and was laughing.
And we would also like to thank our incredible sponsors over at Die Hard Dice and Frivolous Bear. Go check them out, especially over at Die Hard Dice, where you can find their Over the Garden Wall and Beyond the Brook inspired dice sets, many of which are almost sold out. They're really, really great. Go check them out before they are all gone. So, it's been a while, so let's delve once more into the Backwoods and the mysteries that lay in store in Chapter 6, The Witch. Crossing the Stillwater River, and leaving behind the squabbling forces of the Freshwater Brigade behind them, our children continue south, deeper and deeper into the woods. And as they do so, the brown and orange leaves throughout the backwoods continue to fall, and unbeknownst to the group, something stalks them through the trees. The sun is setting in the distance, and through the treetops above, orange light casts long, sinewy shadows across the woodland floor, long, grasping black tendrils of darkness. But the sounds of birds and hedgehogs and badgers can still be heard, as all of you, accompanied as ever by your dutiful companion Sprite, walk through the increasingly thick undergrowth. And out of sight, Angie, though you have been trying to hide it, something is tickling you.
Hey, no one's been good enough yet. I can't tell everyone about you yet. Just chill out.
Angie, can you make a brace yourself check for me, please?
Okay. Okay, I rolled a 5. What do I add?
So that would be your noodle you would be adding.
My neat toe.
Your noodle?
My neat toe. Okay, Angie got a 5.
5. Okay. I'm really sorry to do this on your first dice roll back, but you incur 1 harm and you gain 1 XP as just inside your concealed hiding spot, you just feel a pair of very sharp jaws just bite down on you.
Ow! Hey, lettuce! And I take him out. And I scold him and I say, "That's not how you treat your new friends, lettuce."
The witch
and
is
Angie has like 1 whole tear.
the witch is familiar.
What? Nothing. You don't see anything, Lou. None of you guys have been. I said that you guys had to be really nice to me all day. Okay, and No one has said that I look pretty, and no one has said that I'm strong and interesting.
I helped you cross that stream back there. So, and I really, I mean, I feel like I was nice, categorically.
Well, a real gentleman would take off his jacket and put it on the stream so that I could whack on his jacket.
I feel like I did that.
Okay, fine. You know what? I like you guys a lot, so I don't like keeping secrets anyway. Secrets don't make friends. And then Angie kind of has like this like big stance. She like puts her legs out wide and she goes, "May I present to you my new friend and our new companion, Lettuce." I pull out a turtle, and he takes out his head every time I say his name, because he really likes his name and not because he thinks I'm trying to feed him. Lettuce.
Is it gonna cast spells?
I don't know. Are you a magician? Do you... Lettuce?
His head just pops back into the shell and stays there.
I don't think he likes when I yell right at his face.
I think Lou kind of leans in also. Like, they just get down and lean in and start, like, sniffing around on the turtle.
Can you take a gander for me, Lou?
Yeah, I can. That's Noodle, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 6.
6. Ooh. You see someone or something that gives you a scare. And you mark 1 XP. So as you sniff this turtle, from inside of the shell, there is a strangely familiar scent. A scent from before the old bridge, from before the Puffing Beverly, from before even Denslow, all the way back to Tenniel's travelling circus.
Lettuce smells like cotton candy. Like pink fluff. Mm-hmm.
We're both just taking turns sniffing at him.
Yeah.
While this is happening, Ixia, can you make a wood move for me, please?
8.
8. Okay. So, on a 7 to 9, you simply choose another kid to confide in, and they get +1 friendship towards you. So is there anyone that you would like to talk to?
Lou.
So, as you turn around, you see Lou is currently sniffing into...
a turtle. Their tail is wagging kind of hard too. It's like going like thump, 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 thump against a bush.
Hey, Lou.
Huh? Yes? Yes?
Can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah, I know how to talk. Especially about interests. Interesting you.
I've been seeing things. Sometimes when something stressful happens, it's kind of like I see a glimpse of something I should know or remember, but I don't really remember it. And sometimes it's scary.
Did you see something like that recently?
The most recent time it happened was when we were cooking things on the train, and I guess I can't stop thinking about it. It also happened whenever we freed the animals at the circus.
Well, both of those times you were doing something really kind. And powerful, I guess. Is it scary because you don't like what you see, or is it scary because you don't know what you see?
Well, you said it was when I was doing something kind. But what if what I'm saying makes me think that I'm not really kind?
Lou sits with that for a minute. They think about it really hard, really pensively. Mother Wolf always says that kindness and strength and power they're just neutral. It's what we choose to do that matters. So you chose to cook with us, and you chose to let all the animals out, right?
Yeah.
I've never seen you make a choice that made it seem like you wanted something bad to happen.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess it's hard not really knowing how I got here, what happened. And sometimes I just feel like this rage and resentment towards something, but I don't know what it's towards.
Maybe we can find out together. All of us. Mother Wolf is the smartest mom or being in the entire world. I bet that she'd be able to help you. And I could help too. And I bet that the whole pack would want to help too, if it's something that feels important to you.
It is. And yeah, maybe Mother Wolf can help me. I mean, I don't really know what it's like to have a parent of any kind anyway, so how would I know?
She's so cool and big and strong, and she has big teeth, and it's okay to be angry sometimes. Even if you don't know what you're angry at, it's good to let it out. Sometimes you have to howl and bark and bite at something a little bit so that you don't hurt the people that are, closest to you. And it's okay to bite people sometimes.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for listening, Lou. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. And Lou really quickly looks around, and they grab a fistful of grass from just off the ground. Just like they lean down, grab a fistful of grass with a little bit of dirt on it. Here, you can have these.
Thanks, Lou.
You're welcome.
Cherish this forever.
Cool. Yeah, and if you have visions and you get afraid again, just let us know.
Okay. I might just come to you first, though. I don't really want to scare everybody.
And their tail starts wagging a little bit. Yeah, no, that's cool. I've never been afraid before, so.
It's okay to be afraid sometimes.
Do you think it's cool to be afraid sometimes?
I think it's cool to feel whatever feelings you're feeling. Not to hide it. Especially, I don't know, I'm still working on it, but we do have a lot of people around us that actually care about how we're feeling now.
It's true. But you have to remember that for yourself, too, then.
Yeah. I'll work on it.
Okay. And if you see stuff that reminds you of, that jogs your memories, you can just tap me, and I'll come stand by you and make sure that you aren't too afraid.
Like this? And Ixia walks up to Lou and taps them on the shoulder.
They're like fur kind of like does the little like Ghibli bristle thing. Yep, like that. Uh-huh.
Thanks, Lou.
Yep, you're welcome. And Lou like like literally just like breathes like that and then starts walking away and then kind of like walks back. We should probably go. I'm gonna. Thanks. Okay.
Thanks.
He starts walking away, marching away, really.
As you march, you gain one friendship towards Ixia as Penny. What are you doing?
Penny is standing behind everyone as we've taken this lull in our walk to come to a stop. And their arms have melded into the sides of their body, so they are more tubular because they are trying to hide their hands.
Can you just take a general noodle roll to see how successful you are in this?
Okay.
6.
6. I will say, with this roll, gust. Underneath the surface, this golden, shimmering, sheeny surface that envelops Penny, you see flickers of black where hands should be.
Penny, it looks like you got maybe like some dirt or something in your honey. Let me, maybe I can help you get it out. Like I got the flies out.
Oh, don't worry. I tend to catch a lot of things in my honey.
But I don't want you to get like dirty, I guess.
Look at what I can do. Ooh, and you see little bubbles just kind of bloop, bloop, bloop,
Yeah.
up into the air.
Wow. Penny, you might be the coolest person I've ever met. That was the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah, have you always been able to do that?
Not always. But recently.
As you say this, and you watch these bubbles of honey ascend into the air, you watch as one of them just pops against a branch. And this pop seems to echo out. Another bubble rises.
Oh. It's never done that before.
Whoa.
Can everyone take a gander for me, please?
Yeah.
What are we adding to that? I'm sorry.
Noodle.
Noodle.
Okay, I got a 6.
7 for me.
7.
So I'll say
6.
everyone who rolled above a 7. As you hear these pops, and you hear these Penny, you are the first one to feel the vibrations through your body as the honey all about you ripples. And as everyone else turns to face in Penny's direction, and Penny, your head just seems to do a 180 on your tube of a body, all of you see through Penny's golden mass, elevated above the trees, a large hut stood atop 2 giant chicken legs. An almighty chicken leg, almost double Lou's height, lined in pocked flesh and large grey feathers, each the size of Angie, steps out of the undergrowth, followed by another. And on this giant wooden hut, you see draping off the roof, you can see vines and thorns and flowers hanging and swinging as it turns in all of your directions, as a tall stone chimney gasps out smoke, and on its front, a simple wooden door sits between two small windows, both glowing like dread orange eyes, and they are boring into all five of you. There is silence.
Got her!
The shortest
Witch!
silence ever.
Yeah.
So, what are you all doing?
Scattering.
I wanna.
Lou shouts witch and starts barking.
So, everyone who's running, scoot away. Everyone who is standing their ground. So I'll say, Lou, make a friend for me.
I also want to look at this hut and see if it matches up with anything that Gust would know about the forest. Just like
Okay.
being a forest folk.
I think Ixia's like trying to get in front of as many people as possible for safety
Okay.
reasons.
Angie didn't actually run away. She put lettuce in her pocket again and kind of ran to a tree and is hiding behind it.
Okay. So I'll say scoot away, Laurel. I'll say brace yourself, Ixia. Make a friend, Lou. And for Gust, I will say take a gander. And Penny, what are you doing?
I scooted away with a 5. Penny shrinks down and just like begins to slop away as a puddle.
Okay, so we'll start with Lou. What did you roll?
Despite having a -1 in mush, I rolled an 8.
An 8. Okay, so we're going to twist this a little bit. So they are hesitant but can be convinced. So choose one of the following. I'll let you kind of twist this to whatever you want it to be. So they ask you to make an unbreakable promise, or they require a valuable gift in exchange for their friendship. What are you doing?
Oh my. Let's see. Perhaps this valuable gift in exchange for in exchange for their friendship. Lou is trying to intimidate the hut back. They're kind of like, they've like gotten on all fours and they're like barking, and then they stand back up and go, "We have a more powerful witch here, so just stand away. Understand? We have the most powerful witch in all of the woods here with a familiar. So just don't do anything I wouldn't do."
You watch the chicken legs actively, like, stagger back a little bit, and the hut itself almost cocks itself, sort of looking in your direction, and you hear from within a little tumbling, as though things are moving to one side as it does so. Gust, what did you roll?
I rolled an 8, which with my noodle gives me a 9.
Okay, so one of the following. You infer something important about the folks who live here. You notice an item that piques your interest. You see someone that could help you, or you notice something dangerous that would be wise to avoid.
I think I would want to see someone that could help me. Or even the inverse as well, of like someone that I specifically could help.
Interesting. As the hut rights itself once more, you see through the window someone very familiar. And it is strange that you see this individual. And at first, you're almost convinced that your eyes deceive you, because the person within, moving past the window, dirt and petals caught around them, wreathed in a cloak of flowers, sage, daffodils, and most prominently of all, the purple and yellow petals of witch hazel, this cloak stretching down to the ground, trailing behind them, baggy sleeves drooping over delicate, slender brown arms, ornamented with soft tattoos of flowers. Long, auburn curls stretching down, framing a beautiful brown freckled face, and a nose ring glinting in the evening sun. And above these golden pupilless eyes, a crown of flowers. Ixia is within this hut. Ixia, what did you roll to brace yourself?
I rolled a 9.
A 9. So you choose one of the following: avoid incoming harm, but create a ruckus, or you take harm, but in doing so, the source is temporarily inert.
I'm going to choose to take harm.
I will say, rather than physical harm. Suddenly, as you step in front of your friends, and the eyes of the hut bore into you, suddenly once more, everything goes dark, and you see once more that bubbling cauldron in front of you. You see petals being dropped in from above by a soft brown hand as they fall down upon the surface, and they sink underneath, disappearing. As scent rises to the ceiling of the hut, and a wooden spatula just goes around and around and around. And you suddenly find yourself waking up on the ground in front of your friends as, in the distance, the hut begins to descend. The chicken legs crouching down, and the door creaking open.
I think I think the first thing Ixia does is try to find Lou. Remembering their talk of feeling scared and everything, and looking for support.
Lou is kind of standing a little ways ahead as the thing is lowering itself down. They're like pacing back and forth just a little bit in front of it, growling. But I think as they feel you come up, they turn back with kind of these like big, wide, active eyes.
Lou, you remember what I told you about seeing things?
Just now? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm saying things.
Right now?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it means, but I think this has to do with me.
As the house kind of is lowering itself down, Lou looks at the house, looks at Ixia, looks back at the house, looks back at Ixia. Okay, then it means that we should be brave.
Mm-hmm.
Penny's really good at that.
Yeah.
Penny, come back!
Penny's like halfway towards where Angie has hidden behind the tree, and you see Penny like just like a little blob of a head poking out of this like crawling puddle with just eyes and a mouth looking at you, Angie. Is this the hiding tree? Wait. And then the head turns. What?
Can you be brave with us?
Okay. 1 second. And then just begins to crawl towards them, warbling a little bit.
I think Angie follows.
As they're all moving, Gust, you see the house descending, and you see the door opening. And within, you see the figure stepping forwards, coming into view to the rest of you, bathed in the orange sunlight from above, as an older, taller, but no less full of life, Ixia stands before you. And she smiles, the light reflecting off her flower crown. And seeing you, Angie, she just gives a small laugh. So that's where my broom got to.
I didn't steal it, if that's what you mean. I woke up with it.
Hello, Sprite.
Yeah, that's her broom.
She looks around at all of you, and you can see, taking each of you in, before her eyes, golden as the sun, rest upon you, Ixia. I'm sure you have a lot of questions.
Yeah, you could say that. But how, what does this mean?
Come in, all of you. I have food and drink, if any of you are hungry.
Are you real?
Gus is already in her house.
Wait, Gus!
Like Gus was doing the zippy. I'm going around on one, like very quick, one side, checking to see, is that Ixia's shoulder? Is that the right flower petal? Like just like doing the zipping around, and then the second that she's like that, come inside, already inside.
Her
Guys, wait!
cloak billows behind her as you just...
Hansel and Gretel! Hansel and Gretel! Guys, my mom's not very good at being a mom, but she did tell me one thing, and she said, "Don't talk to strangers." How do we know this is Ixia?
Flowers are the same place. You hear from inside.
Angie, I'm positive that this is me. I think it's okay. Let's just go inside.
Okay, Angie grasps the broom harder. She puts it behind her back and she goes, "Okay." And she keeps her distance while staring at older Ixia and walks into the building backwards while looking at her.
Hello, Lou.
Mm. Hi. Who are you? Who? I'm really confused right now. I'm not gonna lie.
I would be too. I promise, everything will become very, very clear. Just know you're safe. I promise.
Yeah, okay, well, if you're lying, I'll bite the hell out of you. Okay, so.
I know.
I think out of like pure anxiety, Ixia grabs Lou's hand.
They do the slow look down and then look away as fast as they can, and they're like, right, this is Penny and I did this is bravery. This is what being brave is. Okay, and they're gonna look
Ixia
to Penny
starts
as well.
dragging Lou.
Yep.
like closer to them, and like keeps staring at older Ixia as they head inside.
As Thu looks back, Penny is just crawling towards you, and from the puddle comes like a little thumbs up.
They give like the tiniest little thumbs up, like back behind their shoulder as they are coming in.
As you squelch towards the house, Penny, having given this thumbs up and revealing the black thumb and fingers, you see the witch's eyes just falter momentarily, and as you approach,
Immediately, it just snaps back in.
she kneels down. Are you okay?
Yes, I think so. Are you going to hurt my friends?
No more than you have. I promise.
Okay.
Come in. We'll have a look at those hands.
Squeak, squeak, squeak.
And as you enter, you are met with a beautiful, warm, and colourful room. Flowers stand in and hang from almost every corner of the room. Some are potted, some are growing out of the woodwork itself, but more than any other flower, you see yellow and purple witch hazel. To one side, there is a comfortable-looking bed that seems to be made from root-like structures with glistening silkworm-knitted quilt atop it, and in the centre of the room, bubbling atop a softly roaring flame, you see something familiar, Ixia. Something you have seen only in dreams and visions. A large, wrought iron black cauldron hanging from the ceiling. And the witch glides forward and looks around at all of you. I hope you like egg drop soup. Or, if not, hot chocolate.
Listen, I came in here because Ixia trusts you, but I'm not eating any of that or drinking any of that. I'm gonna sit right here, and I'm not taking my eyes off of you.
Ixia looks at Angie and goes, Angie, you haven't eaten in a while. You need to eat something.
Shh, I'm not hungry. If I keep telling myself I'm not hungry, I'm not hungry.
Well, if you change your mind, I do have some chocolate in the drawer just over there.
Chocolate?
Chocolate.
What's chocolate? I feel like we should all try the chocolate. I don't know what the chocolate is, but we should all try it, right? Everyone? Yeah, we all want to try the chocolate.
I really like chocolate.
I want to try chocolate.
I also want to.
I'm not allowed to have chocolate because it makes me really hyper and then loud, and then I fall asleep really fast.
It's a potent alchemical for potions that witches make.
It seems strong, and we need energy, so maybe
we should have
that
some.
sounds like a good thing to me, Angie. That doesn't sound like a bad thing.
I don't know. I think you guys are going to think I'm really annoying.
I don't think you're
Never.
annoying.
No, never.
Angie, really, her whole demeanor changes when you say that, and she's like,
Angie, go
really?
get some chocolate.
We need our witch to be as powerful as possible.
This is how we supercharge the witch.
Okay, and she runs to the chocolate.
You find a whole assortment. All of them are shaped like different animals. You see small little rabbits, you see small little frogs and toads, and you see foxes and badgers. And as you run over there, Ixia, you notice that Sprite is just looking up at this newcomer and cocking his head and just... And the witch looks down and... It's good to see you again, friend. So, I'm sure you have a lot of questions.
Yeah. One being, how is this possible? And why are you here? And why are you alone? What happened to everybody else?
Well, you are me, just as I am you. I made you to protect her. And she gestures in the direction of the open drawer where And she is currently...
Gus is pulling on her arm, like, please, I want to try some. I want to try some. Please share.
Then you see like a honey arm just kind of going up and over Angie to pick up one and deposit inside the honey body.
Lou has their entire upper body inside one of the cupboards, and their tail is just on the outside, like, wagging really hard.
She smiles, looking over at all of them, and then turns back to you, Ixia. Your new friend comes from a place beyond the Backwoods. A place we woodland folk call the Real. None of us have ever ventured across the brook that lines the edges of our woods to find it, but every so often a creature comes from beyond the brook into the Backwoods. I made you to protect her.
So I was made. So I'm not real?
Pinch me.
Ixia pinches but is afraid to pinch too hard.
Ooh.
Sorry.
And now? And she reaches out and she pinches your forearm.
Ow.
See?
I guess I'm real, but everybody else has, like, parents and family. I was just created.
Just because you do not have parents, does that make you any less real than them?
I don't know. Sometimes it feels that way.
In truth, I don't remember my parents either. Or if I had any.
Oh. So, if I was made to protect them, who's after them?
She sighs a little and she looks over towards the cupboard. What is the state of the chocolate at this stage?
There's chocolate all over my hands, all over my face. I'm licking it off and I'm sitting there like I'm sitting in the cupboard, like a satisfied baby that got into some, like, everything that she shouldn't have. And I'm sitting there full and my eyes are like huge and dilated. And I'm kind of vibrating a little bit.
Oh dear. Perhaps all of you should come and sit. This next answer might pertain to all of you.
Lou pulls their head out of the cupboard with a little bit of chocolate, like, in the corner of their mouth. And they kind of trot over, seeming more less suspicious of the witch now that they have eaten chocolate for the first time. And they have a little like you said that they look like animals, so there's a little fox one in their hands that they bring over to Ixia.
Ixia takes it and smiles sweetly at Lou. Thanks.
You should eat it all at once.
Oh. I think I'm gonna savor it.
Cool.
Do you want me to hold it for you? And Penny just has like 15 chocolates just floating inside of them.
No, I'm not a big fan of honey with my chocolate. But
That's valid.
Thank you.
Anytime.
I should have savored it. I should have savored it. I miss it already.
Gust has gotten the pot of hot chocolate and is drinking from the pot. that is still very, very hot, but cannot feel anything. So it's just drinking, literally just drinking it out of the pot.
Your hair is kind of intermingling with the steam, and it's
Yup.
just like growing and growing and growing, like a time lapse of a tree, just further out and out.
Yup.
And as the witch takes in all of this eclectic group that you have found yourself with, she just smiles a little, and then her eyes come back to you, Ixia. You asked, what is after you? Angie. Are you okay?
Yes.
Yes?
You go first.
I was going to offer you some water. Are you okay?
Yeah. No, yeah. And yeah.
Okay. And she, never taking her eyes off you, just pours some water for you and just hands it to you in a small wooden cup, and there you go.
And Angie splashes it on her face.
Angie, do you remember how you got here?
Question for Ed.
Hmm.
When Angie was on the train, she had a bit of a memory, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. So Angie looks at older Ixia and says, I remember my sister, Lizzie, and I remember she was mad at me.
Why don't you just grow up?
And I remember yelling at her because I was embarrassed. And then I remember running away because I was embarrassed and crying. And then I don't remember anything until I woke up with my broom. And there was a black bee. And that's all.
At the mention of a black bee, her eyes just flick to you, Penny, before once more turning back to you, Angie, and she just reaches out a soft hand and places it upon yours, and you're okay. You're okay. Angie, just before you found yourselves in our woods, something changed. You see, at the center of these woods, south of here, there is a lighthouse. It sits on the edge of a place we call the Grey Waters. We know little about it, save that the lighthouse and the Backwoods are connected. Its light is our light. And just before you came, its flame began to flicker. And shortly thereafter, you were walking upon the woodland path. How these two instances are connected, I do not know, but who once tended to the lighthouse and its flame is a mystery also, but whoever it was tends to it no more. Do you know why this might have happened?
Well, maybe I don't know. I'm not actually a witch. I was just dressed like this because it was a holiday. Right?
Well, you may not be a witch, but you have a great deal of power in you.
I have a great deal of chocolate in me.
And she looks at the rest of you. All I know is this. If the flame goes out, all color and light will fade. And as the flame in the lighthouse goes out, the Backwoods will be plunged into darkness. And the fiend will reign supreme. And she looks to you, Ixia. That is who is after you.
Wait, but Angie looks at both Ixia's and everybody else, and she says, What does this have to do with me? And what about my sister? Where's my sister?
I don't know. All I know is this. The fiend is the erosion of imagination and color. He is the death of love and joy and youth and innocence, the extinguishing grasp of hopelessness. And he wants nothing less than complete destruction of the Backwoods, and in order to accomplish such a thing, he requires a child from the real. He has attempted this only once before, when another came from beyond the brook some 13 years ago, another child. But his hand was stayed by one of our own. Can you all take a gander very quickly?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Nice. 7.
7.
8.
4.
Everyone who rolled an 8 and above, which includes you, Lou, would notice that as she mentions this, her eyes flick towards Lou ever so briefly before back to the rest of you.
Angie, she didn't notice because she's feeling anger she's never felt before. She says, I was separated from my sister to be sacrificed. This has nothing to do with me. I'm not even supposed to be here.
Ixia bends down in front of Angie and takes her hands. Hey, you're not going to be sacrificed. No matter what, we're all in this together, and we're all going to protect you, and we're going to find your sister.
I just want to apologize to her. I can't go away without apologizing to her.
And you'll be able to do that. And she's going to forgive you because you have nothing to be sorry about.
Angie just sits in silence and wallows.
I think Ixia takes Angie in her arms and just holds her close.
The witch looks at the both of you and she smiles. This is why I made you. Because I knew as soon as the lighthouse began to flicker, I knew it was a portent of things to come, and I knew the fiend would be moving. And I knew that his eyes, though they would be searching for the child, would be on me also. But just as the fiend has his eyes and ears, so too did I require mine. So out of leaf and vine and hope and love, I made you. And I gave you all my power, my love, to serve as the protector of these woods and of this child, and to a friend to any who might enter from beyond.
But what all can I do?
Do you not see you're already doing it?
Angie hugs Ixia closer. And I think she has her whole face buried in Ixia's flowers and is very silently sobbing.
But I fear the worst is yet to come. No doubt the fiend has made himself known to some of you.
To some of
Penny
us.
looks at Lou.
And Lou looks at Penny and then nods.
Do not be ashamed. He grabs at the heart of all of us.
Angie, under her breath, goes, I'll grab at his heart. I'll grab at his heart and I'll rip it out and I'll eat it.
Lou feels this all swell of pride seeing Ixia holding Angie and Gus and Penny. Yeah, but maybe we can do something about it. You might not think you're a witch, Angie, but I do.
Well, I didn't... Okay, well, I was, feeling really upset and angry, and I misspoke. I do think I'm a witch. I think I'm a witch. I'm a witch. I'm strong, and I'm... I'm a witch. Yeah. My sister just... She doesn't like when I play pretend anymore. But I always thought she was wrong. I didn't think I was playing pretend. I don't think I'm playing pretend.
I think that if you believe something enough, it becomes real, right?
Right.
Angie, you have the power, the strength, and the confidence of a real witch.
And you are strong and powerful, but we'll protect you too.
Even the most powerful people need somebody to help them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Awoo.
Oh.
Awoo.
Oh.
I think this is the first time that Ixia joins in on the wolf thing. She hasn't done it this entire time. Oh.
And that makes Angie feel even more excited, and she jumps up and she... Oh! Wait! Lettuce too! Ow!
Just out of sheer shock, its head just out. And just like... And as you bring it out, you see it just make eye contact with the witch, and she just cocks her head a little bit and smiles, and he's very happy with you. You appear to be filling a void for him.
Wow.
Although he wants you to know that his name isn't Lettuce. His previous owner called him Mock.
Mock? Well, I like lettuce better, but I guess I'll call you Mock.
The turtle just looks round at you and its tiny, wrinkly features just stretch into a small smile as it just back into its shell.
Mock did bite me earlier, though.
You just hear a from inside the shell.
I know that we're all very confident in ourselves right now, and I don't want to rain on that, but a thought has come to me. I believe that Angie is a witch, and we're also meeting a witch, I guess 2 witches, or maybe only one, because you're the same person. So is Mother Wolf gonna think that Angie's a witch?
Yeah. Mother Wolf sent me. I sent myself. Sort of. I heard Mother Wolf talking, though, about the little witch. So I went to find you.
Okay.
And Lou's brow kind of furrows. A long time ago, I was, when I was little, before I was a wolf, I was wandering around too. I don't really remember, and then Mother Wolf found me. So Mother Wolf can protect you too, and help you find your sister, and maybe take us. We could go to the lighthouse and we can fix it.
Wait. Angie looks at older Ixia again and she says, I don't want anything bad to happen to you guys, but am I going to be able to go home after all this?
Truth be told, I do not know. I have tried myself to rekindle the lighthouse's flame, but something prevents me. I cannot get close. But if it is not rekindled, and if you want any hope of getting home, its light must be relit.
Says, Angie, it's like all of the color leaves her face and she just sits right where she was standing, and I think that she's in this moment lost all hope of seeing her sister again.
But there is no reason why you should go without provisions. So, please, and she gestures around her hut, take anything you will, anything you want, and I will take you as far as I can. And everyone, I am giving you any license you wish. What object would each of you like to find within this place to take with you? It can be anything you would like. Although I will say, to give people time to think, as this is happening, and as you are all rifling around the hut, Lou, you feel a hand upon your shoulder as the witch looks down at you. Lou, may I have a private word?
Okay. This is weird that this has happened twice today, but yeah, okay.
Sorry.
She pulls you to one side, and the light from the nearby window is getting lower and darker, the orange more intense as she looks at you. You're taller than I remember.
What? You know me?
I have seen you from afar, and I know your mother.
You know Mother Wolf.
How is she?
She's super cool. She's the best. She says that I'll be a real member of the pack soon.
And it is to Mother Wolf that you lead the others now.
Yeah.
The rest of you, what objects have you found?
Penny finds a deep bowl that has been enchanted and it is unbreakable.
Okay, wonderful. So, you take this bowl. Gust.
I think Gust is thinking about lighthouses, thinking about getting back the flame. I don't know what he's specifically looking for, but maybe like one of those like furnace things, like accordions that like blows
Oh.
wind.
Mhm.
Like he's just thinking yeah, I think he's thinking that we've got to make the flame bigger, but I don't know if he knows what a lighthouse is. So I'm trying to figure out what he might think about. Like what might pop into his mind too.
I mean, if you would like a set of bellows, you can absolutely find a set of bellows.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I would like him to find. I think he's just like, well, wind, I mean, myself, I could easily make the flame a little bit bigger, but in case we need a little bit more power, it's like he's got this thing and he's just gonna find it and keep doing it. He's fiddling with it over and over and over.
On one side of the hut, you just hear just echoing about as Angie. What object do you take with you?
Angie is really not here right now. She has not looked up from higher than the ground since she's realized that she might not get home. And the only thing that she can think about is about how her and her sister both have a fear of the dark. And she says, if the lighthouse needs light, if the lighthouse needs light, then we all need light too. And she's gonna look for a candle.
They're in plentiful supply. You're able to find a candle.
And she takes the one that is like a off-white shade of pink. And she says, Lizzie would really like this color. And she puts it in her pocket and she sits back down.
And Ixia. What object are you taking?
Ixia has just been like kind of standing there, not really willing to want to take anything, but out of the corner of her eye, she sees like a glint on a shelf and she finds a gold ring, a gold opal ring. And for some reason feels a really deep connection with it.
And Lou. As the witch stands in front of you, her eyes falter a little bit. Lou, I love your mother dearly. But I fear home is not the place to be right now.
Lou's brow kind of furrows down, their ears peeling to the side for a moment. And they kind of look up and look around the hut. You see Penny, Gust, Ixia, and Angie, all of them so far from their own homes. They linger on Angie for a moment, and they kind of like go to touch the spot where the rat skull used to be. We should probably go to the lighthouse, right?
All I mean is that your mother might be in, and as she says this, can everyone take a gander for me?
I rolled 2 6s.
Yeah,
I rolled a 10.
I rolled 11 and get a 12 with my noodle.
Oof. Okay, so
Oh, I get a 10.
I got a 6 total.
so I will say that everyone, with the exception of Penny, has
So I know exactly what. So Penny has taken this bowl and it's this coppery brass kind of finish. And for the first time in a long time, she's seen herself. And she's just staring at her distorted reflection in the surface. And she doesn't see anything else right now.
as you do so, the rest of you hear a crackling. And outside the windows, you turn as you see smoke rising. Flames spread all about and spreading still. A smoky, shimmering haze coating the surrounding wilderness, choking the air all around you as thick black smoke continues to rise. This is what all of you see. But it is you, Angie, who sees the figure who emerges from within, shimmering in the heat of the flames, a singular, solitary silhouette of a ghastly pale figure, clad all in black, a pilgrim's hat atop his head, his frame outlined by a grotesque question mark of his scythe, and he is marching forward toward the house. And as he does so, he screams a single sentence. "Wherefore art my child, witch?" And he is striding towards the house.
Angie looks around the room and she says, "Is this trauma?"
The witch looks outside and to the rest of you. You must run, now.
What about the hut? What about you? Mother Wolf's,
I can protect myself. But you must take Angie as far away from here as possible, do you understand?
Angie looks around at everyone and she grabs the broom and she says, "I'm a witch, right?"
You always have been. My darling, you always have been.
"Okay." And Angie puts the broom between her legs and she's like, "Hop on."
I think, Gust, if we're all leaving, I think similar to a moment earlier, I think that Gust becomes a very swift wind and would like to carry his friends like as far as he possibly can to aid with the running. But I think that he's tugging a little bit on powers that don't belong to him, to get them all away.
Okay. So I will say everyone scoot away, but Gust, face your fear.
Oh no. Cool.
And you roll with disadvantage.
So I roll two and take the lower.
So you roll 3 and you take the 2 lowest, yeah.
Cool. Okay, one of them landed weird. I get a 3.
You mark 1 XP, and I will say, because it says your intended move fails, and as you are looking to assist everyone, I will say, Gus, describe what happens as you jettison your friends out of the front door, sprawling on the ground outside the hut.
I was actually going to ask. I have wishes, and I have like 7 XP. Is there any way that I can use those
you can.
to get where I need to go?
You can use a wish to automatically succeed.
Yes, I would like for this to succeed so badly. Yeah, I think that Gust waits until everyone's out of the house. Like, the fire is roiling around us, the smoke is roiling, you can feel the heat. Angie's got her broom, and from the fastest, which I believe would probably be Lou, to our slowest, which I believe would probably be Penny. I think just like this swift wind sweeps underneath you, and like just jettisons us forward. And you don't see Gust, you just feel like steps as you're not stepping on the ground, you're stepping on the wind. And he is like just carrying you all away.
I like to imagine that this pushes Penny into the bowl, and then the bowl just like floats away.
Can I say at this time, I think Ixia is gone into another moment where she kind of sees red. So before that is even possible, she kind of steps forward and she remembers what the witch said, what older Ixia said about giving her all of her powers, and they literally try to attack the fiend. They surge roots out of the ground and just like yeet them to the fiend.
I will say for that, we're bending some moves, but let's do face off. So face off, you roll minus your fear. As the witch hunter moves towards you, and as he does so, he brings his scythe down, and it slams down onto the grassy ground, and you see blades of grass flying in every direction as he just drags it behind him. And as you all pile out of the hut, he sees each of you in turn. And at first his eyes fall on Angie. Before Gust, as you come out, he focuses on you once more. And his face just begins to contort as he reaches out his free hand. Give me back my child's brooch! And he is storming towards you. What did you roll, Ixia?
I rolled a 9.
A 9. What happens, Ixia?
I think Ixia's roots tangle around him as tight as they can, almost too tight, because she's just very angry, and they hold the fiend in place before he's able to even get near Gus.
As you do so, the scythe falls from the Witchfinder's hand, and you just see him as he is lifting up into the air, his pilgrim hat falling to the ground, his long grey hair plastered to his face with sweat, the fire all around is slowly encircling and spreading through the woods. You can see trees blackening, leaves burning up into nothingness. You hear crashing as trees are literally falling to the ground, and you just see him turn his head in your direction and... Where is Tobias? And he continues lifting up into the skies as you feel the wind all around you begin to descend as gust brings the forces of the elements down around you and begins to push you all off. Is there anything any of you are doing as you make your escape?
I think Angie is using all of her power of wishing and believing that she is a witch in the hopes that by hopping on this broom, everybody will safely be taken away from this place. And she believes it. And whether she does it or not, maybe Gust's powers make her believe that she's done it. But all she cares about is getting everybody safely out of there, not just her.
I will say face your fear. And do so at disadvantage. So 3 die. Take the lowest 2.
I rolled a 6, but I also rolled 2 2s.
You take 1 XP, and I'm really sorry, Angie, as the wind flies past you and it carries you off, you are unable to keep a hold of your broom as it just flies from out of your fingers, and whipping up into the air, you see it fly up and disappear down into the burning woods below, as you are all caught up, flying away from the Witchfinder, who is slowly rising up under a mass of vines and roots. And while he is in place, you can see that the fires are slowly closing in on him, and you also see, stepping out of the hut itself, the witch moving forward, her hands outstretched. And as she looks at all of you, can everyone except for Angie take a gander for me?
12.
9.
9. Also 9.
All of you hear her scream, though over the fire and the smoke, it is impossible to hear. Except for one endowed with wolf ears, Lou. As over the fire, over the burning forest, over the fire and smoke and screams of the Witchfinder, you hear her shout, "I'm sorry, but your mother cannot be trusted," as you are flown away into the distance. Grey surrounds you. Ash falls from the treetops above. The wilderness is coated with it. Flowers lie on the ground, shriveled and blackened. Trees stand as far as you can see, their bark like charcoal, twisted and warped. No leaves coat the boughs above you. And as the 5 of you make your way through the woods, you are struck by something. For the first time since you have known, the woods are silent. No birds sing, no foxes call. It is as though the woods are in mourning as you land on the ashy ground.
My broom. I don't have anything to fight off the fiend now.
No. We have each other. We have to get to the lighthouse.
Yeah. And I think Lou, panting kind of hard, suddenly looks 17. They look older. They look like a wolf. I think they just kind of lean down, and if Angie will allow, pulls them into a very, very tight hug. And then they gesture their arm out for Gus. You did a really good job, Gus. And you too, Penny and Ixia. And they hold out their arms for everyone. Come on, Pack. We did good.
Gust rushes in, almost tackling with a hug.
You see golden fingers appear over the edge of the bowl, and then Penny's eyes lift up. Slowly, Penny comes in and wraps themselves around everyone. Not literally.
Angie crumples in the middle and she says, I'm so scared.
It's okay to feel afraid sometimes, but you can't let it stop you from pushing forward.
Yeah, and Mother... Well, sometimes being afraid is what teaches you what matters. Sometimes being afraid is the way that we know that it's time to care about something. You want to get home, right, Angie?
Yes.
Then I solemnly swear on behalf of the wolf pack that we'll get you home. I promise.
I was sworn to protect all of you. And that's exactly what I'm going to do.
I solemnly swear to not leave this place until the lighthouse is lit. And she just wails.
You see Penny just pull one of the chocolates out of them, and it just hovers in the air and offer in front of Angie. I solemnly swear that you won't be alone.
I think Ixia looks around and sees all of the burnt forest, lack of flowers. And I think she encompasses the group in the prettiest flowers that she can muster.
I think Gust says to himself, like loud enough that everyone can hear it, to Angie, I promise that we will never stop being brave for you. It just hugs even tighter.
Gus, you're supposed to say solemnly swear.
Is that a part of this? Like, does it mean more? Okay. I solemnly swear that we will never stop being brave for you. Oh.
And as you walk through this graveyard of a forest, making your way south, every footstep you make kicking up clouds of ash and dust, encircled in beautiful, colourful petals, you move off together, as watching from afar in the darkness, two circles look on.
Oh, my dear children, didn't your parents ever tell you not to swear?
And that is where we're going to end this week's session.
I am in agony.
Tobias!
What is Tobias? What do you mean, my child's brooch?
I need more Kleenex.
We will be back next week with more of this light-hearted fare. We're in the second half of the season now. Our story is darker, but it is not without hope. We will see you there. In the meantime, what do we say to the moon?